Hi, and welcome to this episode of the Successful Franchisee's Beautiful View. You won't want to miss a second today as I talk with Corrie-Beth and Mike Lipowski, the founders who created Pure Physique franchise. It's a unique brand that they're hoping to grow all across the nation. They're already well on their way. And we talk about the culture, the ideal franchise partner for them, and what makes this brand so special in the market. If you have any questions, please be sure to drop them in the comments, like the video, share it with a friend, and make sure to subscribe to the channel to get more relevant information about franchising. Sit back and enjoy our conversation. Hi, and welcome to this episode of the Successful Franchisee's Beautiful View. And I'm honored today to be joined by Corrie-Beth and Mike Lipowski. They're the founders and current franchisors of Pure Physique. And we're going to dive into everything about what their brand is about, what the workout is, and what their culture is going forward. So sit back, watch the whole video, and at the end, if you like anything, have a comment, please make sure to let us know. So Corrie-Beth and Mike, welcome. It's good to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Luke. Happy to be here.
Well, outstanding. Tell me about, and tell everybody watching, why did you start Pure Physique, and what is it doing in the industry?
Yeah, so simply stated, at Pure Physique, what we're doing is we are redefining the fitness experience for busy parents and professionals through 30-minute strength training workouts.
Well, that's outstanding. Let's go into the redefining. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I think that when you look across the spectrum of many different fitness franchises, without getting into the technicalities of the work that we do, what you often see are fitness brands who have their clients throwing a lot at the wall and hoping something sticks. And what I mean by that, you see a lot of fitness brands who will advertise their unlimited workouts, and they're encouraging their clients to come to those workouts anywhere from 4 to 6 days a week. At Pure Physique, we do things very differently. As I already mentioned, we only do 30-minute workouts. We only have our clients train 2 to 3 times per week at maximum. So what we're really trying to do is help busy parents and professionals who are already short on time, yet want to see some outstanding results, get those results in just a fraction of what they would get elsewhere.
What are a couple of examples of those results for your clients?
Yeah, I would say the thing that clients are most excited about is the fact that they're time starved and they want to be fit. So the fact that they can invest as little as 60 to 90 minutes of exercise each week and consistently be losing anywhere from a half to a pound and a half of fat a week, which we do track through data metrics. We have in bodies at every location, which really helps to not only drive the results, but also drive home the point that we're retiring scales. The scale does not give the full picture of success. And I do believe many people get discouraged by that. And so through our 30-minute resistance training workouts and support in nutrition and mindset, that's all included, it enables people to have those great results and keep those great results without a large time investment.
Yeah, fantastic. And without getting too technical, how did you come up with this 30-minute that's done 2 to 3 times a week to see the results that you're seeing? What kind of research
Well,
did you do?
a lot of what we do is based in science. And right now, you can pull up a multitude of studies that are indicating that the least amount of exercise necessary to get a very big benefit is as little as 2 resistance training workouts per week. And a lot of this did begin with just my passion for fitness, for resistance training, which began as a 7-year-old enamored with, Lou Ferrigno was the Incredible Hulk. Hulkamania was running wild, and I had a crush on Superwoman. And so, or I should say Wonder Woman. And that kind of drove me towards fitness. And I think I followed the path that many do, which is you show up at the gym, see what everybody else is doing. And all the people that I were around were doing hour and a half long workouts. And if you were dedicated, you were there anywhere from 4 to 6 days a week. And it wasn't until I had left college where I was introduced to a different training philosophy, one in which it was more about quality over quantity. It was more about intensity over volume. And that was my first introduction to what we would categorize as high intensity training, not to be confused with high intensity interval training. This was the resistance training version of it, which actually began as early as like the early 70s. It started to get popularized with things like Nautilus. I mean, many people are familiar with the Nautilus brand of equipment, and so they popularized this style of training, which dealt with 30-minute workouts, just get in and get out. And once I got my exposure to it, the thing that I noticed as somebody who was passionate about fitness and who wanted to get into the best shape possible was I started getting better results than I did with the 7 hours a week with only 90 minutes. And that led me down this path of implementing that with other people and then just continue to build on it from there.
Yeah, outstanding. Thank you. And when did you and how did you make the decision that, hey, we can take this and spread it across different areas by franchising?
Yeah, we saw it as a very successful business model. It did start in more of a one-on-one personal training. It's when we really cracked the mold on group training, but small group training, that we saw great potential for scaling. So rather than a one-to-one ratio of a trainer to a client, we're able to take small groups of 3 to 6 people with one trainer, which, as you can imagine, is beneficial for the clients because it's less of a financial barrier to have what feels like a personal trainer, and it's far more profitable as a business. I will honor Mike that every step of the way, he kept great records and processes. He documented everything. And so when it came time to scale and grow, it only made sense to franchise the model, knowing that others could plug and play every system, email, and process that had been built from day one. And we've seen that successfully with multiple clients, trainers as well, that wanted to go off and not just do their own thing, but follow a proven model and have great success doing it.
Well, outstanding in that you, all the processes you're talking about, that's just one piece of the franchise puzzle. How do you support the people that are already trying to expand this into other markets for you as your franchise partners?
You want to
Yeah,
take that?
I would love to take this one. I was hoping you'd give me this one. Um, we did not build this entire concept in a boardroom. It was built in the trenches with clients and real people. And so we know that the best way for a business to be successful is to keep the message clear by being involved in the day to day. So with our franchisors as well as our trainers, we have regular weekly L10s. The entire business is built and run on EOS. And so it enables us to have hands in every studio without physically being there. And the biggest thing that our franchisees comment on is the amount of support that they receive, not only in the day to day, but also in the training. And so to have that level of involvement that we can virtually be everywhere and help our franchisees be organized from a business standpoint, from hiring, all the things that normal entrepreneurs struggle with. To have a piece or a hand or a process that's already built out, we definitely pride ourselves on the culture that we've built in Pure Physique, which is one where we are in this together and we do want to see our franchisees be successful.
Yeah, that's key in franchising and something many franchisors have either forgotten or they gloss over after a while is that as your franchisees succeed, you succeed. The best marketing tool is great validation. So what else within that culture, what just expand on that a little bit more about how you support and the culture that leads your franchisees to keep coming back for more and more and more?
Well, it all really begins with our core purpose. If you were to ask us, why does Pure Physique exist? Corrie-Beth, why are you and Mike doing this? It's we build people up. I mean, that is truly at the heart of what we do. We love to see people succeed in life. We love to be encouragers, and that is at the core of everything. Yes, we love to see people burn body fat and put on muscle and age gracefully and feel strong, but that's only one piece of the puzzle. When we talk about building people up, we want to build them up physically, mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. We want people to grow, and we take that message that was first communicated to our clients, and we first implement that with our franchisees and our team members and their team members. We are there to encourage them, to build them up, to help them grow. And we can only do that if we ourselves are actively pursuing growth in all areas. So really, I mean, we look at it as a top-down approach. We need to lead by example, and then we're trying to help our leaders lead by example, and then their team, well, they're leading clients by example. And so that is at the core of our culture. And then, of course, we do have our core values. So it's inspiration, intelligent fitness, personal growth, positive attitude, being a team player. All of that is constantly communicated throughout the organization. And so we first implement that with our leadership team. And then from the leadership team, we bring it down to the franchisor level. And then they keep bringing it on down and down and down.
Well, we all need to
Yeah.
be built up in today's world. I really will stand behind the truth that you're either building or breaking. Every interaction you have with somebody, you have the opportunity to build them up or break them down. And as long as we keep our focus constantly on building people up, everything that we do is always rooted back in that principle and that truth. It's why people always comment, it feels so good in here. It's such a great community. The trainers are so wonderful. Everyone is kind and friendly and polite. I mean, it's not magic. It really is intentional building and intentional culture. And as Mike said, it's all top down.
Yeah. And I talked with Sarah yesterday, and one of her key trainers was moving to a was moving away from her gym, and she has gone and bent over backwards to be able to keep him involved, and that's just a testament. And he wanted to be involved. He didn't want to lose that relationship. So fantastic work there. Let's get into a little bit of the mechanics of what does it take? What type of franchise owner, franchise partner are y'all looking for? And what about the space that they need in order to start their business?
I think it starts with who we're not looking for first. So if you're the type of person that wants to do your own thing, you constantly have a negative attitude and maybe that black cloud over your head, you are not our ideal person. But Mike can definitely talk to the type of person that we are looking for and, of course, what's required.
We're looking at probably three categories, and yes, it definitely begins with who we don't want. Sometimes who you repel is oftentimes more important than who you attract, because if you can attract a person who's got just enough of what they need to have, then you can kind of train on the rest and give them all the technical and the tools that they need to be successful. That said, we could break it probably down into three categories. One would be the person who maybe right now is sitting in a corporate job or something they've been doing for a long time, and they just feel like it's time to break free. Maybe they feel stuck. They're looking for something where they can inspire other people, where they can really be involved in helping other people grow and see success outside of just maybe numbers on a page. And so that person is oftentimes one of the best candidates for us because we know they're driven to help people and to do something different, and we can show them the different. If anything, Pure Physique is very different from other fitness studios, concepts, and even franchises. So we'll show you the different. I love that many of them come though with organization. They are accustomed to doing things in an organized way, planning, doing all the little things, the details that are necessary to be successful. And even especially in corporate America, to hold a job for a long time is not always the easiest thing to do. So if it's that person who has been able to successfully do that, but they're just looking for the next stage or the next level, then that's a great candidate for us. The next one would probably be other power couples. You know, we like couples. If you haven't noticed, we actually do enjoy being around each other. We love working with one another, and we like other people who want to do the same thing, where they see this as a great opportunity. Maybe it becomes a family venture for them. One of them is still maintaining their day job while the other one gets to work on this business, and but they're still doing it together. And so that's another great avatar for us. And then I would say finally, it's other trainers, it's other professionals, fitness professionals who they understand the concept, they actually it resonates with them, and all they want is a playbook that they could follow to build a successful business, one in which they don't have to be tied to it so deeply. Like they can get other people involved and help them instead of being a one man or a one woman show.
Yeah, and that leads into, Jackie, it has multiple units or is in the process of beginning multiple units now. Um, what does that for lack of a better term, corporate structure, what's that going to look like for her as she opens up multiple units?
Well, Jackie's a very interesting case. So, just to give the audience a quick rundown, Jackie is somebody who's held a position relatively high up in a management position in corporate America for a number of years. And when she began her franchise, she did not get rid of her job. In fact, she still has it. And as you mentioned, she is now going to open up a second unit, which is well on its way. But for Jackie, the goal is to get out of corporate, and so she's been able to successfully build one studio where she has management in place. She has good trainers that we've helped her to onboard and prepare. And she's done a great job marketing her business where now it's growing, and she's feeling the itch that, oh, it was time to open up another one of these because she sees it as her exit. She truly sees it as her exit. But it's been great that with all the support she's been able to receive from the organization, that she's been able to maintain that job in corporate while simultaneously building this business.
Well, and Jackie is the type of person that, first of all, started as a client. So she actually came to Pure Physique. She worked out. She had a fitness background and just had such incredible results that, in fact, transparently, when she booked her franchise discovery call with us, I thought she made a mistake. And so when I called and we hopped on, I said, "Was this for nutrition?" She's like, "No, I want to open one of the franchises." And we had a wonderful conversation. She is the type of person that's really filled up and her soul, it's like soul filling to be able to be around a positive community, to build people up and be surrounded by that type of growth, which is not always the case in corporate America. And I wouldn't say that it is or is not for her in corporate America, but to be able to have more time freedom is what majority of us are after. And so to have a workout that provides that, as well as a business model that provides it, it almost ends up being a win-win. And in the process, the fact that you get to have a positive impact on people's lives, I mean, who wouldn't want to?
Yeah. Win, win, win. So I'm curious though, on a mature unit, how many employees, how many staff are necessary in order to run a full mature unit?
So our philosophy from the beginning is that this business should run lean, that you should not need a great deal of overhead, and that includes employees. So on a very mature unit, you're talking between 2 and 4 employees.
That's impressive. Got to tell you. What are
So
your
efficient.
plans? Yeah, but you're at 7 units now, if I remember correctly,
That's
and they're all mostly in the New York, and you have one somebody moved away down in South Carolina or North Carolina.
So
South.
we have South
South Carolina.
Carolina. Another unit is opening in Tennessee, and then the remainder of them are in New York and Connecticut.
So when we're talking a year from now, what other states are you going to be adding? How many other units do you project and foresee?
So we're projecting for between 3 and 6. And I want to be very clear. Our goal is to not try to sell as many units as possible. We want to grow at the right pace. And that means being able to support those who are interested in this brand. That said, we expect to open another location in New York. We expect Texas to be coming on board quite soon. And then we're probably also still looking down in the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida area, and then as well making our way into New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
Yeah. And what are the biggest takeaways that y'all have learned over the last year from a year ago to now?
I think the biggest thing for me personally is having the right people in the right seat. Not trying to be a jack of all trades, even though that quote is sometimes undersold that a jack of all trades is a master of none. But it goes on to say a master of many is better than none. And so it is important to have talents and skills, but bringing the right people into the business to help with the scalability and the growth really has been the key. And having you, Luke, as well as Don on board has opened our eyes to different, even marketing tactics that we may not have traveled down the road of for the franchise itself. And so I believe that having the right people helps to scale and grow. It also gives you a different perspective and wisdom that you yourself would only gain as a result of time and experience. And sometimes to close that gap, mentors are necessary so that you can grow faster and have less of a learning curve.
I would say that what I've learned over the last year is sometimes things don't always go as planned, so you better make sure you have the right people in place. And I say that say it jokingly, but in all seriousness, I think in many things in life, not just in business, you have an expectation that things will go a certain way and then they don't. And how you respond to that or the people that you have around you who are helping you through those things, it really makes a big difference. And that's why I would concur with what Corrie-Beth said. It is about having the right people around, but also just know that you could have all the right plans, but things don't always go as smoothly. So you just better be prepared for the ride.
Absolutely. What haven't I asked you that you want people to know in this video?
Would you like to go first?
Yeah, I mean, this is just, it's been an enjoyable process. I think the biggest thing that I would want people to know is fitness is something in today's world that seems really complicated and sometimes inaccessible. And our goal always is to make it simple and doable for anyone. I'm a mom, Mike and I, we have two young boys, and my personal story was one where I lost 30 pounds of body fat. I overcame lots of different health complications, including IBS. And the craziest part of all of it, Luke, is I did it in less time with less effort than constantly trying to throw things at the wall. So while I see benefit of fitness in big box gyms or people that want to be at the gym 7 days a week because maybe it fills them up, the cool thing is for the people who don't want that is it's not necessary to be successful. And so when I look at my own journey, my thought is always, well, if I could do it, someone else could do it. And I think that that doesn't just apply to my body and my success, that if I could lose weight, you could lose weight. If I can get fit, you can get fit. If I can be in my 40s as a mom and the best energy and the best I've ever felt, like why not you? But also, why wouldn't you want to open a business or a franchise? Why wouldn't you want to have that type of time and life freedom? We call it living the EOS life, the entrepreneurial operating system life, where we enjoy what we've built and we do it with people whom we enjoy.
I'll piggyback a little bit off of what Corrie-Beth said in that we're in an industry right now where it's becoming more and more evident every day with all the evidence that continues to be presented that what we're doing specifically around resistance training is maybe the single most important thing any person can do as they're aging. What I love is that we work closely. I would say that the majority of our market is probably falling in that 35 to 55 age range. That said, we still have another part of our company that is made up of people who are 60 plus. We've had people as old as 92 in our training studios. And it's great to see that we can have that person who is 35 following the same type of routine with person who's 75. And both are benefiting in the same exact fashion. It's not that one gets more and one gets less. They are both benefiting almost to the same degree. So I just feel that we are positioned right now where, with more and more of this evidence coming out, more research dropping nearly every day, uh, people are going to be grabbing on to what we do because it's not just go and work out or go and do some resistance training. It's also fitting with the increasingly busy lifestyle that all of us live. And so when you can marry those two things, the outcome but fits into a person's life, to me, that's the perfect marriage for a business and just any opportunity.
Well, thank you both. And you are welcome back on the show anytime you want for updates as your franchise grows. I'm looking forward to seeing the growth over the next year and hopefully helping you get there a little bit. So
As are
thank
we.
y'all. Yeah, thank you both very much.
Thank you,
And
Luke.
thank you for watching this episode of the Successful Franchisee's Beautiful View. Stay safe and win every day.